Hey, what's up, y'all? This is Jag from Jaggy Sports. Make sure you guys hit like, subscribe, and notification if you haven't done so already. And if you have, thank you very much for your support. Let's get right into it. I've been saying this for a while now, and this is my personal opinion. Clippers, man. Don't get enough media attention. They definitely deserve it. I think the real MVP is Ty Lue. This season is Ty Lue. If they had to give it to, if they included it in coaches, Ty Lue would be one of the MVP candidates for sure. Because of the stuff that he's doing with Clippers against last night's Golden State Warriors. Phenomenal job.
Let's go back to last night. The Warriors taking on the Clippers in Crypto.com Arena. There's Steph Curry. They started out all right, but...
This is my favorite shot. Look, he sees the 7-footer, he looks around.
Now you don't.
And now he's like, wait, did it go in? Yeah, we're good. Let's get back. That is absolutely nutty. And here, listen, it's Steph Curry. Don't play the drive. Play the drive. Force him down. The man was on fire.
26 points, 9 of 11 from the field in the first half. Let's roll on to the second half, Richard.
Yeah, well, you know what it is. The Clippers, this is that underdog team. T. Lue has them going. I don't know what award we can give Reggie Jackson. It's not most improved, but we got to give an award for a guy that just shows up and is like, listen, I'm going to carry this dismantled team on my back.
And we love comebacks.
Woo!
And it wasn't just carry. I mean, this was a blowout, Richard.
Yes, the game was close, and then all of a sudden, everybody just started getting in that work. And yes, this team is going to struggle without Draymond anchoring their defense, but the Clippers don't care about that.
No, they do not. Here is Steve Kerr after the Warriors' loss.
I know we're the number one defense in the league, but we're not right now. Those numbers are inflated by, what we did early in the season. Over the last 7-8 games, we're probably, bottom 5, if not dead last in the league in defensive rating. So it's up to us. We're going to have to find the effort, the communication, the connection to get back to doing the things we were doing earlier in the season.
Kendra Andrews joins us now on NBA Today. And Kendra, this Warriors team, they've now lost 3 of 4. And you just heard Steve Kerr say that the defense has been a concern. So what conversations are being had about how to address their defensive issues?
Well, Malika, Steve Kerr says that every single night, the defense, the issue is something different. One night, it's box outs. The next, back cuts. The next, transition defense. Through the first 2 weeks of February, the Warriors are 23rd in the league in points allowed in the paint. Before that, they were number 1. Of course, Draymond Green's absence is a huge reason for that. He also says, Steve says, it's a lack of communication and a lack of effort. Steph Curry agreed with that, and he said, look, against the Clippers, we couldn't do anything right. We couldn't contain them in the paint. We couldn't contain their drives. They were kicking out to the open shooter. We were missing our switches. We couldn't get a rebound. The laundry list went on and on, but Steph said, look, the solution to this is we have to focus on our physicality. Because the team is without Draymond, because they're without James Wiseman, Kevon Looney is their only true center. They're severely undersized. So if they can just focus on being physical, hopefully at least, that will help address that laundry list of issues.
Right, and you mentioned it. A big part of the Warriors' defensive struggles has been a lack of size down low. Draymond Green, James Wiseman, they're both out of the mix due to injury, but I saw some of your reporting. Could they maybe be getting some help sometime soon?
Big news for the Warriors is that James Wiseman is participating in a 5-on-5 scrimmage today in San Francisco, I'm told. The scrimmage is going to consist with some other young players, Gary Payton II, Chris Chiozza, a few coaches, a few training staff members. This is really big, Malika, because this is the first 5-on-5 scrimmage he's done. Exactly 1 week ago, he had a 3-on-3 scrimmage, which was his first contact work since April 2021. So this could be the final stage of that ramp-up period, but we don't have a clear timetable. We also don't have a clear timetable on Draymond Green. A couple weeks ago, he said he hopes to be back 2 to 3 weeks after the All-Star break, which is coming up. But he said, look, if that doesn't happen, that doesn't mean that anything went wrong. He's just being very cautious because it is a back injury.
This could be the start of something new. But with James Wiseman, one of the reasons why I'm like, oh, yes, this could be something is, as you and I talked about, every single time he made progress, it seemed like that, and he had a setback. And so this time, he's actually able to trek along. Kendra Andrews, thank you so much for joining us. All right, so over the last 7 games, the Warriors, they're allowing an average of more than 113 points per game. So they rank 22nd in league defensive efficiency since February 1st. But what makes this wild is that they ended January with the best defensive efficiency in the league. So, Richard, how much of an obstacle will the Warriors' defensive struggles be in their quest for another ring here?
Well, look, just flat out, if they do not have a healthy Draymond, they cannot win the championship. That is just
Point
flat
blank
out.
period.
Point blank period. That's it. I think Draymond knows it. I think they know it. And so I think the league knows that. And so there is a gaping hole in their defense when Draymond's there, just like you wouldn't judge the Utah Jazz without Rudy Gobert. There are great defensive players that just mean everything to their team, and even Steve said it. Without those early 10, 15, 20 games, we would not be number one ranked defense. That's what's carrying us right now, and we were so efficient that since we've dropped off, we're still that, and people are comparing us to that, and that's not who we are.
Yeah, I agree. Draymond Green is the anchor of that defense, and it's been remarkable what he's been able to do considering that he's 6'6", 6'7", holding down the center position. But I appreciate. Yeah, but we're his friends, so we got to give him 6'6". We got to give him that basketball inch. But I do appreciate what Kendra said in the fact that they are hopefully getting help soon because they know they need it. They know Draymond's timetable might be a little bit longer than expected, which means the urgency is now to get James Wiseman back, and he can truly help. I would say overall, the Warriors, though, Richard, they're not a one-trick pony when it comes to defense, the same way they're not a one-trick pony when it comes to offense. You can find ways to win and play inspiring basketball. Losing to the Clippers after having a head start is very uncharacteristic of a Steve Kerr-led Warriors team. You build up that lead, or you get that lead back in the second half, and then you ride that through. So I think there are points where they can realize, all right, when Draymond comes back, we're still that top defensive team. When Draymond comes back, we found additional ways to get him rest and run this offense. This is just a challenge that they'll just have to overcome.
Zach, what's your level of concern here?
Not that concerned unless it comes out that Draymond Green's having setbacks in his rehab. Draymond was the consensus defensive player of the year by a lot before he got injured. You take that away from any team, they're going to struggle. We're also talking about a really good team with big ambitions, and we're in the doldrums of the season. We're coming up on the All-Star break. Everybody wants a break. The Suns have kind of run away with the number one seed. Not uncommon to see a team play with a little less juice in those circumstances. And this team needs a lot of juice to rebound. That was one of the biggest questions people had about the Warriors playing small with Draymond at center. Could they hold their own on the glass? They were a top 5 defensive rebounding team at the start of the season. They've slipped and slipped and slipped. That to me is like effort, engagement. They can get that back when and if Draymond comes back healthy. So not concerned in the slightest. I would be concerned about the Suns being incredible and basically never losing basketball games. That would be my concern as a Warriors fan, but not the defense.
So I'm saying if they do come back, then 100%, these guys are going to the finals, 100%. Like, you have to be stuck and living under a freaking rock not to know this. You know what I mean? Like, it's just, media is just feeding you Phoenix. Media is feeding you Golden State Warriors. Media, I'm talking about the West. Media is feeding you Lakers, even though they suck, right? Like, there's not enough media attention on the Clippers. And that's why I'm bringing this up, because honestly, these guys are just rough riders, man. And the funny thing is, Norman Powell, their biggest acquisition at the trade deadline, has a fracture or whatever. He's out. And he was not playing last night. And you still beat the Golden State Warriors. How could you not think that the LA Clippers are a lethal team? You know what I mean? It's mind-boggling sometimes when I hear this kind of stuff about Phoenix, Golden State. Give it credit that PG-13 and Kawhi are not back, and that's why they're not getting the attention that they deserve. But the second these guys come back, I think it's a wrap. I think they're going. Let's just say this: It is February the 15th right now, right? If they came back, both those guys, if they came back March 1st, and I would say they're going to the finals, 100%. It's just you cannot beat these guys. It doesn't matter what way you look at this. You have to be realistic. These guys are legit. These guys play well. They have a great organization. Jerry West is the man. It's phenomenal what they're doing, even without their stars. And just imagine when their stars come back. So it's I don't even know where to begin on this topic, but tell me what you guys think. If Kawhi and Paul George come back, let's just say March 1st, hypothetically, let's just say March 1st, okay? If they come back March 1st, do you think the Clippers will go to the finals? Make sure you hit subscribe, like, notification, tell everybody you know, and we'll get down to this. Tell me what you think. Leave a comment in the comment section. This is Jag from Jaggy Sports.